Minh Thúy xin kính chào quý vị. Hôm nay thứ Tư, 1 tháng 3, 2017. Đến với chương trình Good Morning Washington DC sáng nay, Minh Thúy xin kính mời quý vị tiếp tục theo dõi phỏng vấn đặc biệt Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế do Destiny Nguyễn thực hiện. Để mở đầu, Minh Thúy xin kính mời quý vị theo dõi phần 3 cuộc phỏng vấn mà Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế dành riêng cho SCPN Washington DC.
And one thing is when you would say about tướng Ngô Quang Trưởng, and now you wear the uniform as what he did before. So how did you feel on his position?
When I was a child, of course, you knew nothing. But as a military officer, and I cannot say I truly relate to what they went through because they went to hell. It's very tragic that we had the entire generation pretty much from 1954 all the way until 1975, right? 20 years of nothing but war. And the time that they separate away from the family, I think I went away deployment for three times. And the more I deploy away from home, the more I appreciate the soldiers and officers in the South Vietnamese Army, because not only my father was in the military, but also my uncle, stationed pretty much the entire time of my childhood at Hue, so we hardly see them. So as a military officer in the United States, even though my deployment compared to what they went through is nothing. They went to hell, and to having to fight an enemy that had endless supply from China and Russia, when we from the South practically, struggle just to get enough bullet to fight. Definitely give me a great sense of respect for what they've been through, no doubt. And really admire one of the reasons that I picked him. We do have many great and smart and a brave general in the South Vietnamese. The reason I single him out because I think the integrity part is so important for a military officers, not only in South Vietnamese but also in the United States. People, once they get to a higher ranking, they get this perceived power. To me, it's not power, it's just a responsibility that they give you. And they have a tendency to do things that they normally wouldn't do to provide for themselves. So for him, for all the book that I read and everything that I learned about him, he seemed like a very humble, a noble man, down to earth, care for his soldiers, care for his family, and have a deep sense of duty and care for his country. I think that is definitely someone that all of us can emulate and strive to be. So.
Chủ tướng vừa mới mention là ba của Chuẩn tướng hồi xưa cũng là trong quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, mà ngay cả chú cũng trong quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Thì at 1975, ba của Chuẩn tướng là làm về bên binh chủng nào?
I think my father was stationed at đảo Phú Quốc. I think sadly he passed away when I was only 2 years old. At that time, I think the Viet Cong bombarded, they kind of mortar bombard the island, so he got caught in that. So he was with I think don't know the exact services. It's like almost like either
the U.S. Merchant Marine.
Either the Merchant Marine, something like that. That's stationed down at that area. But my uncle and my father only had two. My father's family only had two boys, my father and my uncle. And my uncle is a South Vietnamese Marine. I think he's stationed at Hue, Da Nang, pretty much like his adult life for 20 years. That we hardly even see him. He came home and wounded, and then shortly he had to go again. So it was a pretty sad time for my grandfathers. Because we only had two boys, and one already passed away. The other one practically hardly home, during the whole war time. So.
Và kính thưa quý vị, như chúng ta biết, Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế là một trong 3 vị chuẩn tướng hiện nay của người Mỹ gốc Việt trong quân đội Hoa Kỳ. Và chúng ta cũng từng có biết qua Chuẩn tướng Lương Xuân Việt. Thì Daphne cũng từng có phỏng vấn Chuẩn tướng Lương Xuân Việt, thì Daphne được biết ba của Chuẩn tướng Lương Xuân Việt cũng là người trong quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Và Chuẩn tướng Lương Xuân Việt cũng chia sẻ rằng Hy cũng học được rất nhiều những cái chiến thuật từ những người đi trước trong quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Và bây giờ Daphne cũng thấy rằng Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế cũng là con của một người trong quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, và cũng rất là kính nể những vị tướng trong quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Thì có thể chúng ta nói là người Việt Nam mình có câu là con nhà Tông không giống lông cũng giống cánh. Vậy thì bây giờ để cho những cái em trẻ ở Mỹ này muốn vào trong quân đội Hoa Kỳ cũng có một cái mai là to give back this country, what's your advice to them?
Military service is a good career. It is a very good. Today's military in the United States is not like what our parents used to know back in the 60s. You either go to jail or you go to the military. Today's military, especially in the United States, is very professional. Very a professional organization. As you see, many of our officers, for example, even the enlisted, highly educated, very, very, and at the same time, very motivated in terms of country, duty, and honor. And so I think whoever, especially our younger generation Vietnamese, if they have the opportunity, and if they don't want to go to active duty, that's okay. They can go do the reserve or the National Guard. You still can serve your country. There's a lot of, beside all the good benefit, but to get a self-satisfaction of you are serving your country is bigger than yourself. We owe this country more than we can ever pay for. Okay. Destiny, you and I know, freedom cannot be bought, right? Freedom is priceless. So what can we do to give back? We have one life given to us here. We can choose to either live a life, indulge ourselves with monetary value, buy big home, fancy car, and self-absorbed, make ourselves look good and everything, or we do something to benefit our community, our country. I believe you can do both. You can make a very good living as a full-time military person, or you can do part-time. And you can get the sense of not only you get the tremendous amount of leadership training, but you get to know America more than you ever know. I mean, when I first came to Roanoke, my first unit when I came in, Southwest Virginia, many country boys, right? And here I was walking into a formation. My first platoon sergeant was a Vietnam veteran. He looked at me, he said, not too long ago I was in your country, and you probably one of those who pulled my shirt tail asking me for chewing gum. And now I have to salute you. And I say, God bless America, right? Only in America that someone like me came here with nothing can become somebody. So we need to give back any way possible, and serving in the military is, to me, is one of the a great way to do. The benefit is very good. Beside the self fulfillment that you do something good for your community, for your country, but also the monetary value, the pay and the benefits and all that stuff. It's I cannot say enough of it, because I served 30 years. Otherwise, if I didn't like it, I would not have, wear the uniform for 30 years now. I got my commission in 1987. So this is, so I'm getting ready to have my 30 years anniversary, reunion at VMI. So 30 years, I still loving it. I will continue to serve my country until they tell me that I'm too old to serve, and then I will quit. But other than that, I love it.
Cảm ơn quý vị vẫn giữ màn hình. Để tiếp tục, Minh Thúy xin kính mời quý vị theo dõi phần cuối của một loạt phỏng vấn đặc biệt Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế do Destiny thực hiện.
If one day you have a chance to come back to our motherland to serve it, would you do it?
All depends. Of course, there's no secret. All of us escaped because we did not like or do not like the communist government. There is no secret about that. That doesn't mean we dislike our country, especially our people, right? So anything I can do to help for the betterment of our people, all of us can contribute to help, be volunteer work or whatever. So. In the meantime, I just have to serve my country here in the United States, So
Yeah, that's just an if.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Maybe when you retire, then you can give the young generation some advice so they can do it for you.
Absolutely. Here you go.
Và quý vị, vừa rồi là chúng ta cũng biết là về Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế, là một cái người cũng rất là đời thường chứ không có phải xa vời như là chúng ta nghĩ. Và đặc biệt là Destiny có để ý là trong cái profile của Chuẩn tướng thì có thêm cái last name là Flora. Is that any special?
Flora, when I came here as a teenager, no parents around. The churches that sponsor my family came here in Roanoke. And two members from that church, Riley Court United Methodist Church in Roanoke, they were in their late 60s, already retired, and they wondered, I'm pretty sure these young people would love to have some summer job, cut grass and things like that. So they hired me to come over and help them clean the pool, cut the grass, and things like that. So I spent the summer, helped them out, cut grass and clean pool, and then we kind of built up the relationship that they really liked me. They didn't have any of their own children. So they say, can we adopt you? I say, you have to ask my mom, So they wrote a letter in the United States, sent to Vietnam, and asked my mom's permission, can we adopt your son? And my mom said, well, I have 6 children, so I guess I don't mind to share one with you, So my mom gave the permission. So of course my mom and dad here thrilled, right? So they took me to court, and we went through the whole, pretty much like the adoption process. You went to court and get the proper lawfully change names and things like that. So that is how the name Flora ended up in my in my last name. People often say, you don't look like Flora. I say, I don't, but yes.
You feel lucky, didn't you?
Very lucky, very fortunate. Came here, single. My brother and I, just 2 of us, and my sister's family. But we work hard. And people feel maybe perhaps sorry for us, and I say, we really like you. We will really want you to be part of our family. Can we adopt you, please? I say, well, you just have to go. So when my mom gave them the permission, they just they were ecstatic, and they took me in. They really taught me the gentle side of life. When I came out of Vietnam, I was very angry, very aggressive, if you will, because I had such a tremendous amount of hatred of the communists when I left Vietnam. It kind of consumed my being, if you will. I was so angry at them, and then when I came here, and my mom and my dad kind of gave me the tender side, the encouragement, the love, and it doesn't matter what I did in school. Even my first report card came back with all F, because I didn't know any English at all, and and they say, son, it's okay. Just try harder next time. You know, just always encourage you and always give you the positive mentorship, if you will, the typical good parenting. And with that, they kind of really taught me a great deal. So I have the best definitely from both worlds. Learned a great deal from my mom in terms of hard work, you know, dedications and things like that. From over here, I learned, you know, God country. Here you go. Yes, you know. So I really very lucky.
So you feel like heaven on earth is right here.
It is. It is. I mean, our republic is not perfect by no means. We all know that. But this country, by far the greatest country on the face of this earth. My 30 years in the military, also working with the corporation, allowed me to travel 30, 40 countries around the world. And I can tell you, every time when you travel to other countries, you always looking forward to come back home. This country is no doubt, by far, in anything that you can measure, is definitely is the country that you want to live in. So we are very lucky.
Dạ, kính thưa quý vị, là chúng ta vừa có một cái cuộc phỏng vấn rất là lý thú với Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế, là từ một cái người còn nhỏ sống trong chiến tranh Việt Nam và đứng trước cái sự mất nước thì sống trong cái cảnh mà rất là khổ sở. Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế phải bỏ nước ra đi và cái con đường rất là gian nan để đi tìm đến bến bờ tự do, và cuối cùng thì được một đôi vợ chồng người Mỹ nhận làm con nuôi, và vì để muốn trả ơn lại cho đất nước này, Chuẩn tướng Châu Lập Thế đã đi vào con đường quân đội và vẫn tiếp tục cái con đường của cha ông chúng ta, của những người lính Việt Nam Cộng hòa ngày xưa. Và Daphne cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi cuộc phỏng vấn của chúng tôi hôm nay. Và xin mời tướng Châu Lập Thế có vài lời với quý khán thính giả của đài SVTN.
Well, thank you very much, Destiny. Really appreciate the opportunity. And to all the audience, my apology for not speaking Vietnamese. My Vietnamese is very limited, so my apology to that, and my best wishes to everyone. And thank you very much for the opportunity.